Okay. My name is Alex Bruzzese. I'm currently with Team Vicente Jr. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Been training for about 13 years now. I received my black belt from George Cernak, who's a Renzo Gracie black belt. And I did most of my training up in New Jersey until I became a Maryland State Trooper. It was about 6 years ago. And when I moved down here, Team Vicente Jr. at Conquest BJJ opened me up essentially with open arms, and I was able to go there and train and have a really great experience there, and that's where I'm at now. Awesome. So being as that I still am in the state police, a lot of times troopers, as you know, are either on the highway writing tickets or they're on their own in more rural areas where backup's not for another 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes and above away. So as you can see, I'm a very physically imposing guy, right? I'm huge. So I like to focus on my jiu-jitsu on what I call little guy jiu-jitsu and devil in the details. Okay, that way you can control bigger guys. So the first thing I'm going to show is how many of you are in here with a double leg takedown? I hope everyone's right. Mm-hmm. We're pretty familiar, right? So what I'm going to show first is a double leg takedown that is guaranteed to work 100% of the time if you do it correctly. So that's the key, is doing it correctly. All right, so Chris, can I borrow it, please?
Yes, sir.
So if I'm on a traffic stop or I'm at a disturbance call or anything like that, and I'm on my own, and I know that it's starting to go south. I know I have backup on the way, but I gotta handle the situation. All right, and I know I need to take them down. So one of the key things we're going to do, guys, whenever you're going to shoot in for a takedown, you need to make sure you have a good penetration step. Okay. So when my lead leg, when I drop that knee, I don't want to be far away. All right. So when I step in, I'm taking a big step forward, and when I drop, my shoulder should be pushing him back. Okay, so face this way. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to take my penetration step. I'm going to change my level. All right, I'm not going to bend my body down. I'm going to bend my knees down, change my level, take a big step forward. Now my trail leg is going to wrap around. I'm going to do it both ways so you guys can see it. Okay. So when I take a big step in here, this leg here is going to whip around, and my heel is going to touch my knee, and I'm going to go forward. And I did that nice and slow, but as you can see here, with my body making a triangle, my hips automatically going forward, locking his leg and forcing him to go back. Okay? So this way. So when I do it quick here, I change my little big step in, and I'm blocking tight. Okay? Got my gun belt on, back here. Right? You can be raining down blows, but now I can just start working to side control. Alright, so when I do it by myself here, big step, as I drop the knee, the lead leg comes around, and I make a triangle. Common mistake people make is they do this. They shoot in, and they do this and try to fold their knee, and they're off balance. I want to continue forward so it looks like this. And I'm automatically going forward. The reason why I like this is because it doesn't matter how big your opponent is because it locks their legs. Okay? So one more time. We're here. I'm going to change my level. Go right underneath. Big penetration step. My shoulders, as I drop my knee, should be pushing my opponent back already. Okay? So I change my level. Big step. Down to the mat. Alright, do you have any questions with that? We're good. On three. 1, 2. Keep a forward momentum going. Alright, and you want to open your hip. So once again, when I shoot in here, this lead leg immediately whips around, and look, I open my hip, meaning that my knee is open, right? And look at my hips, they're going forward. So if I have forward motion, and now I lock my hips forward on someone's leg, which way are they going to go? They're going to go right back. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, I want to go over some details that help work for me, and I feel like it would definitely benefit all of us here. Just being a smaller guy, I got to sometimes can't really rely on strength, but we got to rely on technique. So we're going to start from the closed guard. Chris, can I borrow it, please? So what we're going to start off with is just traditional arm bar, okay? So we have our closed guard here. Now, what I always teach the guys is this, right? If I'm in a closed guard, it has to be an active guard. Okay? Especially if I'm working and I have my gun belt on, I can't just be here, right? I have to be controlling arms, and look what I'm constantly doing with my hips, moving them around, keeping them off balance. Okay, because if I give them time to set up and try to pass my guard or try to hit me,
All right, that's on me. I have to work. All right, especially when we're working. All right, if we're on duty, we've got a gun belt on. Right now I'm losing. I need to be on top, or I need to finish this. Okay, so from here, go over real simple, guys. I'm just going to grab the wrist with one hand, grab behind the elbow with the other. Okay, for the gi, you can grab the gi if you'd like. I like to keep everything fluid with the gi and no gi, so I can transition easy. So from here, I'm going to lift up. Even if someone has their elbows like locked in, like they're trying to pass here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold, I'm going to pop my hips and pull. Pop my hips and pull. Now, once I have the elbow just about to the middle here, I'm going to start to bring my knees in, okay? Kind of crunching his body towards me. And with my other hand here, I reach across, hug the shoulder, hug the gi. And now I'm going to start to climb my partner, okay? So, the same arm that I grab here, it's the way I look at it, it's going to be my left side, my partner's right side. Same arm I grab, that foot immediately goes on the hip, here. And now the whole time I'll be holding here to keep him down. I need my knee needs to be right next to the shoulder, okay? I can't be lazy, here. And now I'm going to push off with this foot, and as I do that, simultaneously, this foot's going to go up towards the head, and look, I start to bite down here. Okay? So, what happens a lot of times is, this foot here is going to control the posture. If I'm lazy with it here, he's going to just pop up. Right? So from here, hold on to the shoulder, and I start to climb. So once I'm here, I put this leg on top of the shoulder, and I lock. Lock my feet together, just like a closed guard. Now as you can see, my leg is on top of my partner's shoulder here. My legs are locked, and now look, I'm just going to pinch my knees together. Okay, do you feel pressure?
Oh yeah.
It's just pressure here now. Now I'm going to open my legs. When I open my legs, my feet are going to be pointing this way, and I'm going to turn my knee in. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing with this leg, and I'm driving this knee in. Okay? So now from here, if I let go ahead and posture up. With no hands, I'm keeping him in because of the angle and the way I have my legs. So once I'm here, I'm going to be nice. But when you're in a tournament or if you're fighting anyone, you're going to drive your knee across the head, and right away, I have a very, very tight arm lock here. Notice my heels are pointed towards the head. Okay? If I do this, he can start to drive in. Now I'm in trouble again. So my heels must be pointed towards the head. Lock up tight. So, looked like a lot of steps. Wrist, elbow, pop. Bring the arm over. Cup the shoulder. Whichever arm I'm grabbing, that foot goes right on the hip, and I lock. Now I climb. 1, 2, 3. Second step, I pinch my knees together. Okay, I'm locking my opponent down now. I'm going to wait till I'm ready to bring the leg over, okay, because I don't want to do this. So many people do this, and now the guy pulls his arm out, and now I got to start working for something else. So from here, I lock up, pinch my knees. Now I'm going to open, bring my heel to the knee here, and drive the knee back. Bring it around, hug tight, and look what I do with my elbows. I drive them down and very gently bring my hips up to get the tap. Okay? Any questions with this, or we want to see it again?
One more time, sir.
One more time. So I'm going to start from the closed guard here. I grab the wrist, grab behind the elbow. Okay, the reason I grab behind the elbow is if he goes to pull the arm, I have it locked on my hand. Bump, turn. Hand on the shoulder, put my foot on the hip, and I climb. 1, 2, 3. Pinch. Now from here I can open my legs, drive this heel down, drive this knee towards me. Okay, drive it towards me. Now from here I drive it over the head, hold tight, and get the finish. Okay guys? Any questions? Alright, on 3. 1, 2, go.
Man, Jiu-Jitsu is, I'd say it's imperative for law enforcement. 90% of all street fights go to the ground, and not only that, if you're ever in a situation where you need to take control, you can take someone to the ground and actively control them without actually hurting them. You know, if you're able to effectively control someone, take them down to the ground, get in a position of dominance, and either wait for backup or effectively arrest them, I'd say that's a win. Also, I think as far as police department wise, it's a huge money saver and lifesaver when it comes to teaching new recruits and current law enforcement how to protect themselves and protect the citizens. Being able to actively control a violent person is imperative. You don't want to always have to rely on what you have in your gun belt. The last thing you want to do is go to your gun, although it's necessary sometimes. You want to be able to take control right away as soon as you can. So, I mean, been doing jiu-jitsu now for 13 years. I live and breathe it. So when people ask me, hey, why do we need it? Well, one, protection for yourself, your family, and who you work with. Two, for fitness. I mean, I don't think there's anything that gets you in better shape than jiu-jitsu and wrestling. So I think everyone should be doing it. We start from guard. So we're going to do guard again, and a real situation that happens a lot, especially if you have a gun belt on, you're ever in a life and death situation, someone's in your guard, and they start grabbing your gun, right? So, from here, we start working. Bad guy immediately starts going for a weapon, okay? So, for me, I'm ready, put his hand here. Now, if he already has his hands on my gun, do I want to pull his arm out, or do I want to hold it there for now until I have control? You want to hold it, right? You want to make sure that that gun's not going anywhere. Hopefully, if we're in full uniform, we have at least a level 2 holster, right? So from here, if he has his hand on my hip here, I'm going to just bridge in and start to come up, okay? So when I pull him into my knees, I'm immediately going to start to go to a Kimura grip, okay? Now, just a couple details. When I get this Kimura grip here, I pull him in and I come up. Now I'm going to lace my arm inside. If you guys can't see, please come over here. I'm going to lace my arm inside and grab my wrist tight, okay? A lot of times what happens, I see this a lot in sport jiu-jitsu or just grappling, guys get lazy with their grip. What I mean by that is I see long fingers, okay? In order to get a strong Kimura grip, I have to roll my knuckles forward, okay? That changes the grip dramatically by doing this, by rolling everything forward. Okay? So for right now, we're going to go over just a basic Kimura, then I'm going to go over a detail that really helps when you have someone that's really strong. Okay? So with the hand here, I'm going to cup. Alright? Now if they have a hand on your hip here, I can look to either rip it this way or come inside and rip it that way. That's fine. And immediately I'm going to bridge up and get up. Pull him towards me. And I'm going to lace my arm inside and grab my wrist nice and tight, rolling my knuckles forward, okay? Now from here, as I start to fall back here, I'm going to start to get my angle now, okay? I want his elbow to stay on my chest, okay? So when I'm here, I open, and now I'm going to start to push the wrist, okay? I'm not doing this. People are way more flexible if I keep doing this. However, if I'm here and I start to push, okay? I'm going to roll my knuckles now. Watch the difference when I roll my knuckles. Much more control. So if we're in this situation now, how do I get up? I can start giving him commands, right? Lay down, lay down, lay down. Get flat, get flat, get flat, get flat here. Now, from this position, should I just sit up? Right? I have a duty belt, I have my vest on. I'm not that flexible. So I'm going to look to walk away. Walk away. Then get my hips flat. And now I'm in a nice handcuff position here. Okay? So when I'm here, once I get the technique here, I'm going to walk my hips away. Walk my hips away. I'm going to keep this grip. I'm going to face up, turn inside. Now I bring my hips in, a nice handcuffing position. Alright, so we're going to come back in. Basic Kimura first, guys. We don't have to go right to this, but I want us just to get that first Kimura, alright? So we're here, starts going for my gun. I'm going to bridge in here. I'm going to bring my hips to the ceiling and come up. Here. Lace my arms in. Grab my wrist nice and tight. What do I do with my knuckles? Roll them forward. Now immediately as I peel back on the elbow, see how I slide my arm to the elbow and lock it?
Now from here, if I want to get a quick submission, bring it right to his ear. Right? Law enforcement purposes, I got to get him in a handcuffing position. So I'm going to open my legs and start giving commands. Lay on your stomach, lay on your stomach, lay on your stomach. And now from here, I can start to get a hook, kick the leg. I'm not going to sit up. I'm going to walk away. Get my hips flat, keeping this pressure the whole time. Get to my knees. Okay? Do you have any questions with that? You guys want to see it again?
You're not breaking your legs open at all when you sit up.
What's that?
You're not breaking your legs open at all when you sit up.
When I
Yeah.
No, you can. You can. If you're uncomfortable, if you're not as flexible and you can't keep your legs closed, or the guy's just bigger, you do what you got to do. You got to get up. Okay? But your main control is that arm. All right? If they're reaching for your gun, you're going to keep it pinned with everything you have. Okay? Your gun is your lifeline. All right? It can also kill you. That's why you need to keep that there, unless you're in control of it. All right? Any questions? All right, let's give it a shot, guys. 1, 2, 3. But don't get lazy with this grip. Okay? I'm guilty of it as well. See how my fingers are long, meaning that you can see most of them on my wrist? What I want to do is, as I roll my knuckles forward, what happens to his arm? It's going to go down and I bring it tight to my body. Okay? This grip here changes dramatically when I roll my knuckles forward. If I'm lazy with it here, he can either sometimes even be able to power out, all right? And it's going to hurt me. So from here, I'm going to roll and bring my body in. Okay? So now we're going to start from the same position, but now I'm working with someone that's a little bit stronger than I am. Okay? So this is what's going to happen when they start to defend. All right? I'm not able to use my strength or to get my angle because we're on a straight line in the guard. Okay? So what I need to do is work smarter, not harder. So we're going to start just from the traditional grip here. If your partner puts his hands right here on your belly, you can work to feet in. All right? I'm going to actually have you guys stay over there because the detail is on this side. Okay? And so from here, I grab the wrist, and now I bump and I come up. Now as I come up, he starts trying to bring me back down, and he hides this arm under his thigh. Can you guys see that? Does that happen to anyone when you're training? So now from here, how am I going to get this arm out? I'm trying to rip it free. I can't. I need to take away his base. Okay, he's on his knees right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, once again, I'm going to roll my knuckles forward, stay tight to him, and now I'm going to unhook my right leg. Okay? I'm going to put it right on his butt, slide down, and hook his foot. Guys, come look at this. Now from here, I'm going to extend the leg that I have hooked and pull at the same time, taking away his base. And now from here, same exact thing. I can work to get the submission, or I unhook, start giving commands. Lay on your stomach, lay on your stomach. Now he's bigger. Let's say his leg is on me and he won't get it off. Don't be afraid to hip out, hook, drive it down. And now the same thing. I walk away, walk away. Get to handcuffing position. Okay? So, start over. Once again, we're starting in the closed guard. Left side or right side. If I have my duty belt on, they grab for my gun. Obviously, I'm going to go to that side, right? So from here, I work the opposite. Grab the wrist, bump up, get to this position here. Immediately, I'm going to hug tight, grab my wrist, and I bring my elbow down tight. Roll my knuckles forward. Right? He immediately starts to defend and holds tight here. Now, I'm not strong enough to get this grip. So my opposite side is going to drag down the butt and hook. Okay? Now, if his foot is in tight here, I'm going to pull him towards me and slide down. Now, as I hook here, I'm going to extend slowly. When you do this, do it slowly. Extend slowly and pull the arm out at the same time. By all means, in a fight, do it quick and fast. Be brutal. Now, from here, I either get the tap or start giving commands. Lay on your stomach, lay on your stomach, lay on your stomach. Move away from me. And now from here, move away. Good. It's handcuffing. Okay? Any questions with that? You guys want to see it again?
We're good.
Thank you. All right, guys, on 3. 1, 2, 3, try.
So one of the biggest motivators is we teach everyone you want to go home at the end of the shift. You want to be able to protect the guys you work with. You want to protect the citizens you're sworn to protect. Okay? So actively being able to train jiu-jitsu and have that confidence, knowing that, hey, if a situation happens, I'm able to handle it. I'm able to handle myself, I'm able to handle my partners, and we're all able to get home safe, I think is paramount. I think a good way to get other police officers involved in jiu-jitsu is if we can have maybe the police departments pay for the classes, the courses, and also offer, I'd say once a quarter, a in-service related to ground fighting technique or controlling violent offenders. As far as the older guys that kind of are set in their ways, introduce it slowly, kind of. It's going to be a hard route trying to make it mandatory, but maybe have a voluntary class if they want to join it. But you know as well as I do, it's kind of hard to get those guys that are set in their ways that don't really want to train it, and it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say that doing jiu-jitsu is easy, but I think for law enforcement, it's imperative that you, at the minimum, need to stay in shape, at the minimum. And then jiu-jitsu on top of that is knocking two things out right away. You're staying in shape and you're learning how to defend yourself. So,
Not a strong guy, so I was able to work with some really good black belts that gave me some details. All right, we start from the back position here with both hooks in, over under, okay? Common grip that people get, especially when they start defending, is, start putting arms up here, they start to grab the wrist, okay? Now a strong guy can go ahead and extend your arm out and break that grip, okay? So instead of grabbing the wrist, I'm going to start to grab the blade of the hand, okay? Once I grab the blade of the hand here, go ahead and extend. No, seriously, go ahead. Put the arm out. This grip here, okay? This grip here is key. Especially when it starts to get sweaty, nogi. If I grab this wrist here, and a guy's stronger than me, more than likely he can get out. But as soon as I grab the blade of the hand here, and I bring it in tight, go ahead. So much more control, just from this alone, okay? Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start walking this hand up. Okay, I just want to show this real quick, guys, because I see it all the time. I know you shouldn't look at movies for details, but God, when I see someone do a rear naked like this, it just drives me absolutely insane. Okay, so to prevent someone from grabbing your arm and defending, what I'm going to look to do is I keep this grip, I walk this hand up to the shoulder, and then once I'm ready, my head goes to the head, I pull this arm out here, and I go palm to palm. This palm is facing down, my other palm is facing up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my elbow, drive it behind his back. Now from here, turn my hands in and slide. It's horrible, okay? And there's very little chance that he can defend. All right, so I'm going to do it for my knees so I can show you guys a little better. So from here, we have our over-under grips. Instead of grabbing the wrist, I grab the blade of the hand here. Okay, much more control. Now I walk the hand up to the shoulder, right here. If I get it behind the back, great. Head to head. Now, when I'm ready to switch my grip, I just let go, get this arm through, and now I'm going to go palm to palm. And look what I do with my elbow. I drive it behind his back. Now from here, I turn my palm together. So the hand on top just turns. Here, and now I just slide it through. And now I compress my elbows together, bring his chest in. Nice finish. Okay, so one more time. Instead of grabbing the wrist, I go for the blade of the hand. This is where I have my control. Walk the hand up, because even if he starts to grab me with his other hand, here, I can still move this hand up and across. Once I'm ready, I let go of this grip, go palm to palm, drive my elbow in head to head. Okay? If I think he's going to hit me or punch me, I just duck my head down here. Now I turn this palm in, back of my hand into my palm, and now I just slide it through here. And now I'm going to compress my elbows together, bring them in, bring my chest in here. So I'm blocking down, putting pressure downwards. Okay? Do you have any questions with that? Let's just drill that for a couple minutes, guys. On three. 1, 2, 3.
That was awesome. It was fantastic. I hope in the future we get this thing blown up so much. I hope that law enforcement. I hope that most defensive tactics instructors within your departments are at least training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, at least a blue belt or purple belt. That way we can get the proper knowledge out to the guys on the street. So thank you so much for letting me teach here and spread some of the knowledge. I had a great time, and I hope to come to more in the future.
Cool. Thanks, Alex.
Thank
Much
you.
appreciated.